Alice Cinema, created by she, her, continued by he, him, or it, depending on how you view me. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, yand. Wonderful. As you see on your screen, your dial, however, you are joining me today. I appreciate you. Don't let the appreciation cannot be understated. I see these numbers coming back for listens, and I'm just blown away. I don't understand. Or the numbers could be fake. That's one. Or two, I swear the overwhelming feedback that I'm getting lately is you men, women, however you choose to identify, you like falling asleep to my voice. Hey, I gotta be honest, I don't know how I feel about that. And, you know, I've mentioned it to a couple people that I work with in my day job, because this is not what this is. This is just for funsies. I don't know how I feel about it. On the one hand, okay, so my voice can make you fall asleep, but god damn it, I'm here to learn you. I'm here to learn you a thing or two about a thing or two. God damn it. Can't be falling asleep. I mean, one of the kids was just like, oh, yeah, dude, I listened to so many episodes, and I'm like, oh, which one did you like? What did you find out about the film that you didn't know, or blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, oh, I don't know. I just fall asleep to him at night. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, as you see on your screen, your dial, Threshold. I gotta say, every year, I almost feel we are pounded over the head, at least if you are in the critic circles. It's very hard for me to identify as a critic. I love movies. That's the only reason I'm here. Very rarely do I come on the show and shit on things, especially since I know the hard work that goes into making a film, so it would be a disservice to those involved and myself. Like, there's enough negativity on the internet, right? So, Threshold, though, I think I've used this example before. Let's look at this in terms of UFC weight classes. Okay. So if if a Malignant, a Judas and the Black Messiah, those would be heavyweights, right? They got the big money backing it. But something like a Ghost Weights, writer-director Adam Stovall's a Ghost Weights, or something like this, Threshold, I would say, was in the lightweight. That's not taking a shot at these films at all. In fact, I don't know if there's any UFC fans out there, mixed martial art fans in general, but 9 times out of 10, watching those featherweights, bantamweights, lightweights, welterweights, it's a lot more fun than the heavyweight. Of course, yes, you can see someone's, head get put into the third row in a heavyweight match, and you may not see as many knockouts in the lower weight classes, but it's the skill, it's the technicality, deceptions into technicality, that I think are more fun to watch. So Threshold, let me at least tell you what it's about first, and there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be ruining anything for you guys, because everything really hinges on the end of this film. I just don't do spoilers. You want to find out how cool this ending was, you're gonna have to buy the motherfucker. And with the Arrow video release, you're not just buying the film, babe. Getting a whole lot of bonus features on there. In fact, and this is no disrespect to Paul Robinson or Patrick R. Young, initially, I'm just a transparent person, so we're just going to let it ride. And, I don't script any of this shit. It's all passion, baby. But the movie itself is an hour and 18 minutes. The bonus features, the first making of with Paul and Patrick, I think it's like 100... I think it's an hour and 28 minutes, and then there's another round table that's a good hour with directors of low-budget film or indie horror films, and then there was also a round table with actors who act in indie horror films, and that was another hour or whatever. But I was joking around, actually, ironically enough, with Adam Stovall, who did A Ghost Waits. I went down and sat in on a screening that he did in his hometown, and he was just kind of like, "What are you working on now?" And I was like, "Well, I just finished up watching this film Threshold that I really enjoyed, especially from a wannabe filmmaker's lens. I thought it was, in fact, if anything, I got mad at myself. I'm like, these fuckers executed it. By these fuckers, I mean Paul Robinson and Patrick Young. I was like, these fuckers executed it perfectly. But what I was telling him, I was just like, Arrow does such a good job, like. And again, it was in jest. I was just like, but fuck, the movie was an hour and 18 minutes, and the bonus features are like 3.5, 4 hours. And it's like, I only get not at Arrow. I only am annoyed for selfish reasons, just because I only have so much fucking time in a day. As I said, this is merely what started out as a goof has turned into a mildly popular movie podcast that somehow stretches worldwide. I don't get it. But when you hear from people from the UK and Singapore and Malaysia, it's Norway, that one was crazy too. Canada, got a lot of Canadian fans. It's very time consuming because after you get done with the show, you'll be like, well, you didn't tell us much of anything. You just sounded like you really liked the film. Yeah, that's the idea of the fucking show. When I have guests on, that's when we really break it down and talk about a lot of the scenes and yada-da-da-da. But, Arrow's so good, they made me sick to my stomach and felt like I was taking on yet another daunting. Dude, they sent me Threshold. They sent me the Sergio Martino collection, which is a 3-movie set. They sent me The Brotherhood of Satan, which I guess on some level, if you've seen one Midwest small-town cult film, you maybe have seen them all. But, I'm happy to do it. It's just the film, that's the easy part. It's, going through the bonus features and trying to pick out stuff that, you feel would be worthwhile to mention on the microphone. So, but yeah, so Adam and I had a laugh because same with his Arrow release for A Ghost Waits, just tons of shit on there. He had to go to, and I think it was like 2 or 3 commentaries. Same with this one, 2 or 3 commentaries on it. Actually, I think just 2. One with the directors, and then I think the editor who has worked with them on their previous project Bastard, so Paul Robinson and Patrick R. Young's previous project Bastard, and then they had a cast one, which was always entertaining. I'm just one of those nerds, man. That just happens. It's just, to me, it's my version of Googling things, just because I'm old as fuck, and my first instinct on stuff isn't to Google stuff. Mainly because, you have your foot is sore, and then you go and you Google it, and now you have AIDS because you listen to WebMD. So, kind of the same thing, this is my particular, the Arrow is my Google. What am I even fucking talking about anymore? When a phone call from out of the blue brings Leo back into contact with his sister Virginia, long estranged from her family due to years of drug abuse, he arrives to find her alone in a bare apartment in the midst of an apparent overdose. After the convulsions and nausea subside, to which he says, "I'm hungry," right after that, it's a very intense scene, followed by her just being like, "Oh, I need to eat." Virginia insists to Leo that she has been clean for 8 months due to the help of a mysterious group. They, them. She keeps on talking about they. They took me in. She confides to her cynical brother that her edginess and paranoia actually stem from a sinister ritual conducted by the group that took her in at her lowest and eventually revealed themselves to be a cult. What starts out as a curse, you could say turns into a hex, and that is about as far as I will go in that particular realm. You got to see it. I mean, and it's an hour and 18 minutes. I don't want to fucking hear, I don't have time to watch movies. I'm so tired of hearing about that. You don't have time to watch movies, but you got time to fucking watch reruns for 6 hours straight without blinking. Shit that you've already seen before. It makes me feel comfortable. You're an idiot. I mean, I could never, and I used to. So I used to, just watch stuff that I really, really liked over and over and over again. And it's, sometimes I still do that. What's weird is the older I get, I don't put stuff on very rarely anymore. I don't put stuff on in the background anymore. I always, and maybe this show has a lot to do with it and fucking me up in that respect, where I was just like, I gotta be a critical eye. You gotta be watching with, purpose. You can't just, I'm losing it. I'm fucking losing it, mate. I'm fucking crazy town, but I can't do it anymore. Where was I even, what? How did we get to who, what, where? Yeah, the Hex, I think I was talking about. The group that took her in the lowest, blah, blah, blah. This curse bound her emotions and physical sensations to a man she has never met before. Well, she kind of has, but she didn't know his name. She hadn't seen him before when they were bound together during this ritual. But she just does not know the man. With his marriage on the rocks, Leo has his own demons to face. Nice little B story, C story, that you could gravitate towards Leo's character, make you care about him a little bit more, because in the beginning, I mean, he's kind of a dick, rightfully so, a dick. Your sister's been on the drugs, your sister's been on the H for quite a long time. You get tired of listening to the bullshit. I still have a couple people in my life that pop up out of nowhere. I shouldn't say one or two that they're still on the drugs. At my age, I think a few. It's hard to after you've been doing something for so long, a toxic habit. I think we get to a certain age where it's either it's still okay or none of it's okay. And unfortunately, I have a couple friends, you just see them and you're like, fuck, man, isn't it exhausting to continue doing what you've been doing for? I know it was for me, not that I got super hard. Well, nobody wants to hear about that, but you almost don't put stock into what they're saying. In fact, I saw one of these guys 2, 3, 4 months ago, and he just looked rough, but he looked like a functioning rough and a functioning addict. But, when he's talking to me, I'm just like, fuck, man, I believe a third of what you just told me. It's a bummer. So, I guess it lessens the blow of the whole Leo being a dick thing. He just doesn't trust what he is hearing his sister Virginia say, and I don't blame him. It's like, look, man, you were hooked on phonics for 8 years, and now you expect me to believe that you're not suffering from withdrawal right now and that you're cursed? Fuck you. I don't believe you. So, he comes by it honestly. So, having his own demons to face, he is helping out his sister, but he's going through a divorce and he wants to be a part of his child's life. And, while he's just entered a contract to do a road trip with his sister to find the man, find the man that she's bound to, man. Nonetheless, Leo is reluctantly persuaded by Virginia to embark on a cross-country road trip to track down this shadowy stranger, under the caveat that if he's nowhere to be found, it's all in her head, and then baby, she will go to rehab. Right, Amy? But yeah, she's just like, look, if it's all in my head, I'll fucking go to rehab right now, but it's not. Why would I be carving shit into my arm? Oh, did I give a little something away there? I didn't mean to, babe. I apologize, babe. But I think that's the hook, though, is the parking garage scene where she She does do a little self-mutilation, but it's not her fault. It's not her fault. In fact, after she carves "Where are you" into her arm, he's like, why would you do that? And she's like, it's not like I can fucking text him, can I? Fuck, mate. I told you I was cursed. Text, whatever you want to call it, mate. This is not a film from the UK. Sometimes I just black out, ladies and germs. But she'll go to rehab, right? However, as their date with destiny draws nearer, Leo begins to suspect his sister's tall tale might have some substance to it. If it didn't, this movie would be stupid. It would just be like, oh, look, we got our fucking... Oh, I got to tell you how it was shot. But Threshold is the second feature from co-directors Paul Robinson and Patrick R. Young following their debut, Bastard, which came out in 2015. And Threshold, get this. This is why I love Arrow Video. You know, I mean, I didn't know anything about this film until it arrived on my doorstep. But they had a 15-page script for this. Most of it was improvisation. Most of it. Between Madison West and Joey Millen, most of it was improv. It's fucking great. Well, let's tread lightly on most of it was improv. I mean, they sat down and they talked about it, like what their characters would go through and everything like that. And I love the very honest reactions that they have to each other while they're going through this. Very believable. I thought Joey and Madison were top notch. Like, I just felt like I was a fly on the wall for this these real people going through some very unorthodox shit, you know, fucking driving out in the middle of nowhere to find a cult. I'd have came with an army. No, you can't do that. That would have cost more money. But so this was improvised and shot on two. Hear me now. And I know I have a lot of wannabe filmmakers, a lot of aspiring filmmakers out there. This film, an Arrow Video release, Threshold, shot on two iPhone 8 Pluses. Yep, two iPhone 8 Pluses. And from where I sit, nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Especially once you bring in Nick Chuba's score. And guys, Paul, Patrick, if you are listening, I did ask you to come on the show, but you know, you guys are busy. That's fine. Just relax. I don't care. It's fine. Fuck, boy, did Nick's score tie the room together, did it not? I thought Nick's score it made it a movie. Made it a goddamn movie. If you take Nick's score out of there, I don't know if the impact is as great. Maybe it is. I would have to see it without it. But Nick Chuba's score in this... this is what I was going to yell at you guys about. Where can I fucking find it? I can't find it on Spotify. I pay for the premium. And I just want Nick's album. It's fucking great. I thought it was so strong. The end credit sequence, so good. And then I think I found out that it was from a... ill-tuned synthesizer, like it was off-key, and he was like, you know what, that sounds good, and kept it. That's why I fucking love musicians. That's why well, the theme music that I just played was done by Justin Faust. You can find him on Instagram under Roo, R-O-O, Bad, B-A-D, Lee, Roo Badly. So, but Adrian Ellis, who does my alternative theme, a little bit more of an epic theme, to see how he comes up with the new sounds that he creates is nothing short of spectacular. And as I was watching the bonus features, Nick Chuba talking about how, some of the tools that he used to come up with the score for Threshold, god damn, dude. I fucking love musicians, and I think most people, like, I've done some stand-up comedy and stuff, but the only reason I bring it up is because I feel like stand-up comics say the most. I've failed, by the way. I did open mic nights, and I'd say it's split down the middle. If I did 20 open mic nights, 10 times I knocked them off their feet, they were laughing hard, and the other 10 times, fucking check, please, we're out of here. Fuck this guy. And the one makes me mad because, like, I did back-to-back nights one time, and just a Friday, fucking people were laughing. Saturday, same jokes, nobody laughing. Not the same people, But stand-up comics always want to be musicians, at least, and musicians always say, "Oh, I'd like to do stand-up comedy." At least in the circles that I run in, I kind of stay towards the east side of things. I'm more of a New York comic guy. In fact, it's probably one of the only things that I'm pretentious about in life is stand-up comedy for whatever reason. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm just fucking amazed, with the Adrian Ellis's, no relation to Ellis Cinema, and the Nick Chubas of the world, and how they are able to how they come to the conclusion of what's in their head and how they make it fucking blows my mind. And it was just fantastic for this film. I wonder, I'd like to see it if they had, a couple rough cuts without the score in it, how it plays, or perhaps even an alternative score, how it plays. Would I like it as much? I mean, I still am going to like the ending sequence. I thought that was fantastic, and I'm all about, I'm old school, man. You don't have to show all this shit to me throughout, Act 1 and Act 2. You don't have to fucking do that. I can wait and have a slow burn as long as that middle part is, relatively sharp, which it was. Stumbling on people who were weird but didn't matter for the story. I thought it was good. But the ending, just so good. And I'm so... all I need is a beat for an ending. That's what I realized at the end of this film. All I need is a beat, and you can tie the room together, much like Nick Chuba's score. So yeah, they shot this on 2 iPhone 8 Pluses. They got some lenses. I think I wrote down who the fuck they got their lenses from here. Go on now. Give me a minute. Camera, iPhone 8 Plus. The system that they used was Filmic Pro UHD 4K. Lenses by Moment. So you should have seen some of these lenses. And they were like guerrilla style shooting this film. Like they didn't get permits or anything. They just like be in a diner and then, okay, we're going to roll. And some of them they didn't even really notice, and others were like, hey, you can't do that here. But colors by Kanan Chabani. In fact, this particular bonus feature is called Elevating iPhone Footage Color Correction Breakdown. It annoyed me. I was like, oh, what have you been doing? I have so many... No, I don't. Why did I say so many? I have a few stories that could be shot on a shoestring budget like this and work. I don't know if I would get Arrow clearance like these two professionals, but I think that they could play on a YouTubes and it would entertain someone out there. Shit. If this piece of shit show somehow has entertained people across the globe, then I know at least 2 of those short stories would play relatively well. We'll get there. I'm always grinding. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, but I'm always working. Even, I swear, I go to my day job, clock in, clock out. I come home and I clock right the fuck back in. Now, this is granted one of the benefits of being a bachelor, because there's just no fucking way if I had a partner throughout this, they just, one of 2 things would happen. The show would suffer, the relationship would suffer. So, and I haven't figured out what matters. That sounds so bad, but I'm probably the relationship matters more. Like, I'm happy to put all you motherfuckers to sleep, but if that's the end game on this show, that's, what are we doing here, right? But I guess I keep hanging on to this notion that promoting stuff that you've never heard of or stuff that you were on the fence on, that's why I continue to do it. So, because it sure is, the shit isn't because I love to do it. I love movies. I don't love doing the podcast. There's a difference. I think I mentioned on the last show during Malignant with Kyle Bruhl. I know movies and you don't. Love that man. It's become a daunting thing, and I'm sure I'm not saying anything fucking crazy here, especially from a critic's lens. It's nice that I walked into Malignant just no strings attached. I didn't plan on doing a show for it. I was like, okay, I get to kind of take my mediocre critic hat off and I just get to enjoy the film. And unfortunately, fortunately for the show, unfortunate for our fucking friendship, we were on two sides of the fence about Malignant. I thought it was stupid fun. I had a good time, and he just thought it was flat out fucking stupid. And, to each your own. That's why there's no right answers when it comes to art. That's why I love talking art. You can keep your politics and religion. Fucking let's talk about art, and then if we get in a heated debate, guess what? Doesn't matter. Nobody's right. It's what it means to you. What it means to you. And same with this one. I don't know. I would hope that I do know predominantly the people that listen to this show will find it worth their time, but as far as the Marvel crowd or some shit like that, not that there's anything wrong with Marvel, everybody relax, I'm not trashing Marvel. I don't know if the Marvel crowd would be a fan or would find this payoff big enough for them, I hope they would. I think it holds some pretty dark and vast implications. And by the way, boys, and when I say boys, Powell Robinson and Patrick R. Young, don't do a fucking sequel. I heard you talking about it on the bonus features. This isn't good fun. Relax, guys. Don't do a fucking sequel. That ending works, dudes. It works great, and that's the beat that I'm talking about. A beat. It made the film for me, and it's a fucking fraction of a second. Unless you count the stuff that happened directly before that, which it's not that I don't, but it was the end that I was like, yeah, I've been tired of don't listen to these masses. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They always want to they want to bring back old shit. We got to do a reboot, a remake, and I'm all for reboots and remakes pending what it is. It should be shit that like Dune. That makes sense to me. It flopped when it came out in the 80s. It was too. People just didn't know what to make of it and everything. So let's try to do that again now that we have the effects and, easier time to do what that film, or rather what the novel series is trying to do. But, for something like this, even at the fucking... God damn it. Even when I was at the screening with Adam for A Ghost Waits, one of the questions in the crowd, are we going to see a sequel? Or are we going to see Jack and Miriam? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? This ending works. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. And in Threshold, this ending, I went, oh shit. I don't need to see a continuation of the story. I like to ponder every now and then, Inception shit. That's the easy one to go to. Did the totem fall or did it stay up? I like just going, I don't know. I do. I don't know. But, that ending was cool, right? So don't, if someone's meaningless, an opinion that is as meaningless as mine, boys, just don't. Fucking, this movie is strong by itself. I promise you. I don't know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I think on some level I'm comfortable saying that I know movies relatively well. All right, back up. 8 Plus, iPhone 8 Plus. Over the course, get this, of a 12-day road trip with a cast with a crew of just 3. In fact, one of the round tables that Joey, who plays Leo, he said if he could go back and change anything about this film, it would just be one other set of hands. Because it was a road trip film to the fullest, an actual road trip, not like tongue in cheek, like an actual road trip. They were going around in the car that is in the film, which I believe is Patrick's car, a Saturn with a bunch of stickers on it from his punk rebel years. No, those were put on right before the filming started. The result of Threshold is an inventive and compelling psychological thriller which hints of the supernatural that recalls such indie cult classics as Ben Wheatley's Kill List. Oh shit, it's been a while since I've done that. Oh, and people who have been on my show before, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead's Resolution. What did I have Aaron and Justin on for? Oh, Synchronic. And then literally the week that we did the episode for Synchronic, they signed on to do Marvel's Moon Knight. So I'll never talk to them again. they are fucking rocket ship bound. They're out of here. But it was nice to talk. I thought Synchronic was really good. I just think Justin and Aaron's work is really good. Much like I think we are in for a treat the longer that Powell and Patrick stick around in the film game. So yeah, you had Leo, played by Joey Millen. You had Madison West, who plays Virginia. Producer was Lauren Bates, just one producer. Give you an idea how much or how small this film was. Music by Nick Chuba, cinematography by the director, Powell Robinson, co-director, and then edited by William Ford Conway, who also did, a hell of a job on this film, but he also did Bastard for Powell and Patrick, and he's a very interesting cat, and I think in terms of how this editing process went down, it was just wild. I urge you to watch the bonus features on this wild kind of how the structure of the film came to be, or how, at least the way that William saw it, and then he would send the rough edit to Powell and Patrick, and this works, this is what we wanted to see, this doesn't work, so on and so forth. But I was really fascinated with how Williams' work came to be. But yeah, just super, super small film, and I thought paid huge dividends. Yeah, I think we're good. What else? Yeah, we had a round table, something from nothing, indie genre director round table. So you had a discussion moderated by Scott Weinberg with directors Powell Robinson, Patrick Young, Brandon Espy from We Follow You, James Birkitt, I can't read my own writing, who did Coherence, Zach Donahue, who did The Den. The Den was kind of wild, and Elle Callahan, who did Witch Hunt. And the roundtable was on shooting modern horror on a budget. What else did you have? The Power of Indie Horror, acting for unconventional film, roundtable discussion moderated by real queen of horror, Zena Dixon. The second one, Zena Dixon is how she says it. With actors Madison West and Joey Millen, Kelsey Griswold from Followed, Gabrielle Walsh from Paranormal Activity, The Mocked Ones, and Ryan Shoes of The Gallows. The Gallows was fun, on performing low-budget indie horror films. The Sounds of Threshold, you get the full score by Nick Chuba. See, there's how you get the music. No, man, I want to be able to fucking put it on in my car. I can't put a fucking Blu-ray disc in my car now, can I? Can I, mate? No. You get to see kind of a track-by-track setup of the score, which, we all know how I love composers on this show. You had the general outline script, a part of the bonus features, trailer, original teaser, image gallery, and also a reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Coffee and Cigarettes. Yes. I feel like I missed one on there that was pretty good. Oh, the hour and 28-minute Crossing the Threshold has anything that you wanted to know about this film is in that featurette. Anything, from how much it costs to how they put these lenses on the iPhone, everything that you could possibly think of, everyone that was involved in the piece speaks on this particular featurette. I found it fascinating, interesting, and also enraging. Enraging for selfish reasons. Why haven't I made a fucking film? I got a road trip film. It's not as good as this one, but it is a road trip film. It's a road trip film that has very minimal locations. And why haven't you done it yet? Because you're a piece of garbage. Hopefully I sold this flick for you, and you you go out and say, I wouldn't be talking about it. I think some of you think that I do say the word obligated a lot, but let me let you in on a little secret. I'm not obligated to do shit. Nobody's paying me for this. I do it out of the love, babe. Out of the love. For the love of cinema, yes. By the way, I saw a couple of people randomly have been saying for the love of cinema. Just don't do that. I've been saying it for a long time. Hold on. I'm not saying I'm the originator of it, but some of you need to try to be a little bit who cares? Just be a little bit more original. But that's why I watch films like these, for the love of cinema. You know? Just, I love seeing new eyes. That would be the best way to put it. I love seeing a new style, a new, think Argento, Tarantino, that sort of thing. You know, a very distinct eye. I thought Threshold has a very distinct way of making this piece come together. And I think the fact that it was on an iPhone 8 Plus, less than $15,000, nothing short of amazing. Boys and cast and crew, Madison, Joey, fucking out of the park. Definitely should be proud of this piece, and from what I gathered, you all are. You are all happy to be on it. I think I'm gonna get out of here. Going now. Arrow Video's release of Threshold. Some bonds are stronger than blot. Threshold, Arrow Video, available now. Ellis Cinema has a lot of things around the corner. You're going to have to stay tuned. Go on now. Oh. Yeah, I think like 10 to 15 things right around the corner. Interviews. Woo-wee. Always grinding, bruh.